Yo, we are back. Another episode of Run the Ropes Media Podcast. And yo, I feel like wrestling is kind of not the focal point of WWE as of right now. It's a lot of things going on, whether it's in the ring, whether it's backstage. And yeah, it just seems like after WrestleMania, it's been like a weird cloud over the WWE, I guess you can say. And a lot of people haven't been excited about the releases that has happened. And as you guys can see from the title of the video, you know, is Triple H losing control of the WWE? Is Triple H being forced out of the WWE because it's just things that's going on that it almost seems like kind of micromanagement. And for instance, Dylan was just giving me an example of what happened to Rhea Ripley backstage at Monday Night Raw, where she had on a R Truth T-shirt. And do you know who told her no, or like there's no saying who
N
was the person? But go ahead,
no.
bro. Tell a story.
Yeah, so apparently before Monday Night Raw, the talent was made, um, to be strictly advised to not mention R-Truth or to wear any, merchandise, resembling any of R-Truth stuff or just like, those like T-shirts that people make up of, logos or anything like that. Apparently, what I also heard too is some like depending on the signage too that the fans brought in, like they turned some people like they said, "Up, you can't come in if you're gonna bring in that type of sign."
That's wild, bro. It's
Which is
almost
also
like
crazy
censoring,
because
bro.
on the broadcast, they did show one of the signs. Obviously, it was by accident, but
Yeah.
it did say, "Re-sign R-Truth."
Yep.
So,
I
it's
saw
just a
that too.
crazy time, man. It seems like backstage is like chaos right
It's like
now. It
they
really
being
does.
censored, like censored and like micromanaged, bro, to the point where like they telling the talent. Like I could see if it was like a competitive, a different company. Like if Rhea Ripley was wearing like a Buddy Matthews shirt or something like that, an
Yeah.
AEW talent. But it's our truth. Like he's WWE. It's almost like y'all just kick him to the curb and like y'all don't even want people to even like talk about him or like wear his shirt or like it's not like he didn't put in almost 20 some years with this place.
Mhm.
It's kind of to me it's kind of slap in the face. And um also I seen on Twitter Jonathan Coachman made a tweet, and he was basically saying like he feels like Triple H is going to be forced out of the WWE within the next 18 months.
Yeah.
And it just seems again, it just seems like WWE is just in a weird space where they just care about the money. And which is so funny because it's a business, it's $1 billion company. But like even when we was talking about them smacking a Slim Jim on the table, let's snap a table with Slim Jim or whatever they trying to do, bro. Like, you know, this is something I feel like Triple H will 100% not be agreeance with. You know what I'm saying? But when them big bucks is talking, bro, it's like I don't know, bro. I feel like WWE is getting blinded by the dollars, man, and again, not really listening to the fans.
Well, unfortunately, which I think a lot of people, misinterpret or get confused, is that Triple H is the head of creative.
Yep.
All right, Triple H
Yeah.
has nothing to do with the TKO
Hmm.
representation as a whole, right? So the main guy behind all of this, and it goes for the UFC as well, is Ari Emanuel. I'm sure many people are not familiar with even who Ari Emanuel is. Um, people can associate Nick Khan as as very similar. He's what, the president now or the vice president of WWE. So a lot of people don't really know the whole dynamics of what goes on behind the curtain. Triple H is kind of told what to do as far as advertisements or sponsorships or
Hmm.
if they got to implement budget cuts or whatever. He's got to abide by what these people
But
say.
they say,
Unfortunately,
yeah.
what happens with companies, okay, when you get people in who don't know what business they're getting into,
Yep.
they decide, let's make budget cuts. They may see a guy like R-Truth, now the rumor is The Miz as well, like oh, they're not, they're not in any major storylines. They're not
Mm-hmm.
on television every week. What are we paying all these guys so much money for? Budget cuts, get rid of them. But they don't actually know the business and see how valuable these talents are, right? Like
Yeah.
R-Truth has been around the game for a long time. He's a veteran. He's obviously helped out NXT talent. There's been multiple people come out now, Carmelo Hayes, Kalani
Yeah.
Jordan, all these people that came from NXT saying how instrumental that he was in helping their young careers start. Like
Yeah.
when you got a guy like R-Truth or even The Miz again, there's rumors with him. It's experience, right? It's like how can they help people behind the scenes? Like you can keep a guy like that as what we call a locker room guy. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
just to kick him off to the curb tells me these guys have no idea
Mm-hmm.
the business of WWE and how instrumental some of these people are.
And to
That's
the
what
point, and to the not to cut you off, bro, and to the point where they were taking people's signs. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, I mean, again, I ain't trying to be like, oh, it's against freedom of speech, but I mean, hey,
Bro, that
it's-
reminded me of when CM Punk left, bro. They were doing that type of
yeah,
treatment when
bro.
CM Punk
Are
left.
we back to like again? If it's some, the competition, like, nah, we ain't gonna have y'all bringing in no AEW's number one, in here. Like, I get that. But
Yep.
so I mean, like they can never bring in a Edge sign or any of these former legends that have put in years a Kane sign.
Mhm.
Like I'm trying to see like where is this gonna end because bro and then maybe I'm just jumping the gun. I just don't like it, bro. Like now you telling wrestlers they can't support they fellow colleagues who potentially help them so much.
Mhm.
I don't know, man. It's not looking good, bro. It's getting more gimmicky. Now we do got some pros with it. Again, like they have been signing some good people, like Stephanie Van.
But
You know what I'm saying? Like a
but this
lot
is
of
where I
these,
was gonna get with this. Let me just get back to it real quick, right? So you have the suits who look at just the numbers, right? They look at it as a business aspect and not when I talk about business, I'm talking about just the numbers, right? Financially, they look at that stuff instead of looking at WWE as a whole and what it actually means, right? In the wrestling business. Here's the only reason, okay? Stephanie Vaquer and Roxanne and Julia and all these call ups from NXT happened, and then all of a sudden we saw a huge release of NXT
mm-hmm,
talent. It's
mm-hmm,
because well, NXT is here. They get paid a certain percentage. I'm sure there's probably a cap on what NXT talent can make.
yeah,
Main roster. Well, we'll move two major stars up for main roster and give them a bump in pay.
yeah,
We'll cut a bunch of young NXT talent. And guess what? We got Mariah May. I'm sure she's going to be happy. It's her dream to come to WWE. She'll be happy taking a pay cut. And it seems like that's exactly what happened.
mm-hmm,
So, what happened? You got rid of a ton of talent to sign one talent, move two talents up, and now you're cutting main talent. It is getting a little tricky. You know what I'm saying? It's like R-Truth apparently had taken he had declined an offer for a low ball to stay with the company. We don't know what the low ball is. I'm sure it was probably very low for him to
yeah,
to want to walk away,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Um, so just one more thing that I wanted to point out because I had brought up the tweet that you had mentioned from Jonathan Coachman, right? He had went on to his podcast and was talking about the whole thing going on right behind the scenes, and apparently he's got insider information which I don't really know the extent to that, right? He's not
yeah,
with the company anymore, but I'm sure
yeah,
that he does still have deep ties with it. He knows a lot of people obviously still in the company. But the thing that he had said that really intrigued me was not only like you had mentioned previously that within 18 months he sees Triple H, not running WWE anymore and that he's going to be forced out. But the other thing that he had said is that he claims that there's a serious power struggle brewing in TKO with tensions between specifically Triple H and The Rock playing a major factor.
mm,
And it's like, man, with all the stuff just coming to light, it seems like it really came to a head at WrestleMania 40 when obviously he injected himself once again and all
yeah.
these plans changed and stuff like that. I really wonder if there is truth to that, right? Like
It could
I
be.
don't I don't know how when you're on the director of when you're on the board, right? Like how much push and pull do these guys actually have? It seems like it's a whole hell of a lot right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I really don't know. I just it's tough because I like Triple H. I like that the direction we were going when he took over. But it's almost seems like now with all this stuff coming out, it's like almost like they're pulling back the reins of what he's actually able to
But
do
you gotta
anymore.
remember though, bro, like at one point in time, Triple H was in charge without TKO. Then the merger happened. Like the merger happened like when Triple H first started, like he was cooking.
But Vince was ultimately in charge when that happened.
But it's to me, it's a difference as far as Triple H talking to TKO and
I
then
agree.
Triple H talking to his father-in-law,
I
Vince
fully
McMahon. You
agree.
get what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
I'm sure like they've had moments where Vince was like no and stern, but like it's a difference. It's a difference. They family, and even at the Hall of Fame speech, he said he would be, it would be crazy for him not to mention them.
Mhm.
So I feel like it's a different relationship. Again, did they butt heads at all time? But maybe not. But I feel like it can still be a common ground. These guys, on the other hand, they don't have no ties to Triple H like that. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So they looking at him as just like, bro, you're probably you're just there's no emotional ties. They don't have
Mhm.
emotional ties to none of these guys. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason why Pat Patterson and them was still around in the WWE. Like they wasn't in the ring, but it's emotional ties is what they was able to do, helping the younger generation, whatever the case may be. These guys don't know that stuff. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And then you got Triple H is probably the only one that's really, pushing for that. But maybe The Rock isn't. You know what I'm saying? Maybe The Rock is not. Maybe The Rock is going against the grain on what Triple H is saying. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, bro. But I don't want to say it's not looking good because again, we ain't really behind the curtains. But just as a wrestling fan for all these years, something just seems off. It just seems off again. Like even like if Vince McMahon was there, I don't think R-Truth got released. Vince McMahon was, I don't think the Miz will potentially be on the chopping block. These just guys that thought will always be there. Will all, you know what I'm saying? Will always be WWE guys. But again, they under new management, and now we're finally starting to see and feel. Sometimes you don't see and feel the initial impact at first. It takes time. Now
Yeah.
these guys is probably comfortable in their seats now. At one point, they were kind of like walking around with eggshells, or they knew, or we not going to take over, we not going, this is y'all stuff. Now they comfortable in these seats, they seeing these dollars come in, these ducats coming in, bro, so they could potentially just be on a whole different mentality, and we see it.
Yeah, we gotta remember, I mean, when the merger happened, right, it was, WWE was at an all-time high, it seemed like, and
Mm-hmm.
Vince still was behind the ship. He was obviously the one that was in charge of that merger, right? It had a big part to do with that Netflix deal, that 10 I think it was like, what, $10 billion something Netflix deal,
Yeah.
right? It is what it is. I mean, that's again what happens when you merge with a whole nother group. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, a lot of people I'm sure who are wrestling fans also watch the UFC, and that's a whole nother issue right now. It's the exact same stuff that's happening in WWE is happening over there. The ticket prices are insane.
I was about to say that. Like, look at the ticket prices now. It's more like a money grab now.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like everything is about that dollar.
Yep.
It's moving away from wrestling, which could potentially give AEW another lifeline, and we'll get to that in a hot second, in another video. But I mean, again, even with all that, now we're hearing things with Karrion Cross could potentially be getting released again. I feel like another Triple H guy. So we shall see, man. And I feel like that's gonna be kind of like truth as far as fans want him there, So we shall see. We shall see.
Yeah, so let us know down below in the comments section what you guys overall think about what's actually going on. Again, everything is speculation. We just kind of report on what we're seeing out there. And you know what? To be honest, it's not even just the rumors and everything, right? You can kind of see it in the product. So
Mm-hmm.
so it can't all just be rumors. So let us know what you guys think about it down below in the comment section. Stay tuned for our content too. We're gonna have a bunch of content over the weekend. We plan on making some content for Worlds Collide. Obviously, Money in the Bank. We will be doing a Money in the Bank prediction show on Saturday, and then maybe we do something afterwards as well. But stay tuned for all the content. You got anything else, bro?
That's it, man.
Alrighty. So again, like the video, share the content, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new around here. And other than that, you got your boy Dylan.
Got your boy Break.
Now we're out.
Peace.